What's up, everybody? Rick from Rick's Rock School. Welcome to a day in the life of your guitar teacher. Dog, coffee, guitar. Let's meet my business associate, Slug. Oh, he's so excited. Oh, he's so excited. Come on, boy. Let's get the day started. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Oh, what do we got? What do we got on the guitar stand today? Oh, yeah, this is going to be good. My first ever Gibson Les Paul 2005 standard. Slug, what do you think, bud? Now, let me get Slug fed, let me get a cup of coffee, and we'll get started. I can't even start to describe how much I love this guitar. This is my Excalibur. This is the first Gibson Les Paul I owned way back in high school, which all of a sudden was like a decade ago. This guitar, etched in the back of the guitar are like ghosts of guitar lessons past, because I worked at this little, from the time I was 15 years old, I worked in this little guitar shop in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, called Music Central. If anybody remembers Music Central on the old Cardiff Circle and happens to be watching this video, give me a shout out. I love it. It's a daycare center now. It no longer exists. But when I was there, I taught lessons with this guitar, and etched into the back of it, I always knew like I was never going to ever get rid of this. It was mine. And we didn't have tables in our little teaching rooms. So, you know, if I had to write out a guitar tab for a student or sheet music, whatever, I'd have this like this and just start jotting the lessons down. So as I look at the back of this guitar, it's just like random threes carved into the back of it. It is a guitar teacher's guitar, if you've ever seen one. It's lived in a van with me. I was on tour. My band, right out of high school, my band decided we had this crazy idea to go on a tour around the East Coast. We went everywhere from Boston to Miami, and we had a great time. I mean, things got a little crazy. I'll tell you why you never leave the drummer in charge of the food supply in a second. But yeah, this guitar's been everywhere with me in hot vans, you know, in Tampa, Florida in July, and we, you know, still just is always, this guitar's just an absolute soldier all the time. Love it. Play a couple things, teach you a Led Zeppelin song with this, but quick story why you don't leave the drummer in charge of the van and the food supplies. We had a 3-day layover. Basically, we had a show in Springfield, Virginia on a Tuesday, and then we didn't have another gig until Friday in Richmond. So with that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday afternoon, the band goes, you know, we have a great idea. Let's go camping. Let's go camping. Well, see, most of the time when you go camping, you have supplies, you know. We had our van. We had a tent. We had one tent for the 5 of us, and we had our van. And I guess we didn't think it all the way through. And we got basically enough food for one day, and we hit a sale on wheat thins. So we had like a box of frozen hamburgers for day 1, which we ate in about 12 seconds. And then a box of, just 2 or 3 boxes of wheat thins that we caught a sale on. And I guess, you know, that was supposed to last us for 3 days. We decide at day 2 we're starving. You know, this is real. This is why you don't go on tour. If you don't have a company backing you, if you're not, don't fund your own tours, guys. Please, like, take this as a cautionary tale. We're in the woods. This place, Bear Creek Lake State Forest. Again, shout out if you know it. Bear Creek Lake State Forest in Virginia, and we're in the middle of the woods. I mean, it's camping, but we are alone. There's not another soul in this park. And the next day comes, we have no food left other than wheat thins, and we're starving. And I said, you know, hey, you know, I can fish. There's like a general store about a 20-minute walk away. They sell fishing supplies. I would go get, you know, fishing supplies, and I would be Bear Grylls, and I would feed the whole band. That was the way it worked in my head. So the band goes, okay, we'll go with you. The drummer says, I'll kick it back here, and I'll stay in the van. So we go to walk to get the fishing supplies, and when we come back, we see something out of a war zone. Our van had been ravaged by a pack of angry squirrels. Our drummer had decided to take a nap with the windows down, and these squirrels knew what to do, and they infiltrated, and apparently they were coming from the top of the roof. They were looking down, and they just... So we just shredded box wheat thins all over the place. I was like, oh, there goes our food for the for the rest of the week, and that was it. So we just didn't eat that day. And of course, when you're fishing because you want to, you always catch something. When you're fishing because you're hungry, fish don't seem to exist. So I'm sitting there, nothing. And the next day, we did bring in a catfish. Of course, we were ready to leave, and we got some Wendy's on the way back. Everything was fine. We made it to Richmond, and the Richmond saga and me running into a band of skinheads and all kinds of crazy stuff that happened in Richmond, Virginia. Like, story for another time. But don't leave your drummer in charge, guys. So anyways, I'm going to show you on my favorite Les Paul, I'm going to show you my favorite Led Zeppelin song. I got the Cherry Sunburst. I basically spent an entire month's pay when I was in high school on getting this thing, and it has been my number one guitar ever since. I've played in front of thousands of people with this thing, and just absolutely love it. My favorite Led Zeppelin song of all time, 10 Years Gone. I'm going to show you how to play it, run through it. We're going to learn some new chord shapes and some new chord ideas. You might get some new ideas along the way. It's also going to help you expand out your fretboard without the need of bar chords. I'm going to do a whole series on that. You guys struggling with bar chords at home? We don't need them. I'll show you. Watch this. Love it so much. So guys, we're starting this on an A major chord, and I want to make sure, like, when we do this, you can play your A major with one finger, you can play your A major the way we've all been taught, but the way that I play it for this particular song, for this particular change, kind of a cheat code, if you will, I fret it like this, because we're going to this F6 major 7 chord that he plays next, and it's shaped like this. So I just use the same 3 fingers. I use that finger configuration. So you're gonna have your open A, you're gonna have your second fret of your D string, your middle finger on the second fret of the G, and the pinky. So we go ring, middle, pinky. The reason I play that is because, look, to get to our next chord, we can just shift over those 2 fingers, leave the middle finger where it is. How easy is that? So we'll go. Beautiful little arpeggio, a little descending arpeggio on the way back. We're going to play A major, then an A sus2 chord. To make a suspended chord, you've got to take the third of the chord, in this case C sharp, and we're going to replace it with either the second or the fourth, in this case the second. So A, B, C sharp, those are our first 3. If we take the C sharp and turn it into a B by playing the open B string, we get this great chord, that A sus2. We're going to sus2 again, back to the major, so into this chord. It's an F6 with the major 7, the E. So the ring finger, middle finger, pinky. If you played the A correctly like this, all you got to do is shift ring and pinky over a fret. As always, guys, stay light, don't dent the marshmallow. I'm barely even pressing these strings, especially on the electric guitar. You don't need to squeeze the life out of a guitar. Get good tone. So when you get here to this chord, hold it for a second, then we're going to hit the E, B, G, string-wise, E, B, G, and then back to our A. And just do it all over again. Play the intro, and then there's this walk up, this chord walk up. We're gonna start with an A, then we have like an E flat diminished chord here, 6, 7, 7, 5, 7. 6th fret of the A with the middle finger, 7th fret of the D with the ring finger, 5th fret with the first finger, and then pinky 5th fret B. Very funky chord, which sounds, it sets up. The reason we play a chord like that, we could set the next chord up to sound even prettier than it would otherwise. So you got your A, then you got the Z flat diminished into an E minor 7 chord. Look. It just sets that chord up really nicely. So we're going. Then I'll play a D7. That E minor 7, if you don't know it, we flatten our first finger across the first 5 strings of the 7th fret. We go 7, 9, 7, 8, E minor 7. Look at my video, the Jazz Guitar Cheat Code, Part 1. I show you all these chords, all these minor 7s. We could do so much more than power chords and regular major and minor bar chords. Let's expand out our chord knowledge a little bit. It goes a long way. D dominant 7 here. We're gonna flatten that first finger. We're gonna go 5, 7, 5, 7. That's a D7 chord. So we've got E minor 7, D7. We'll take that same shape. This is easy. Move over here, pop a middle finger onto the 4th fret of the G. You've got C major 7, and we're gonna hold. So that's. Here's that run here. I slide from the 12th fret down to the 2nd fret, and I play the 2nd to the 3rd, open 3rd on the A string, and then the D, E, F, E, the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret to the 2nd. So it's slide into an A chord. So. Are mixing. He is just beautifully dancing between, Jimmy Page is just dancing between A major and A minor. We're going to use thirds, major thirds and minor thirds, and tritones to make this riff happen. There's so much going on here. Check this out. We can play a 1-finger A, and then that accent is going to be pinky finger 4th fret of the G. That makes it a B note, which makes it A sus2. Now we're going to go G major 3rd. A G major 3rd is going to be a G note and a B note. So it's 5th fret of the D and the 4th fret. Hit it twice. Now we're going to go. This is going to form a tritone. That G right there and the D flat. So it's into a F sharp minor 3rd. Then we'll go. Now that B note is going to be the accent again. Stay on that F sharp minor 3rd, 4th fret D, 2nd fret G. If you don't know, we'll accent with that pinky to an F major 3rd. That would fit more in an A minor scale or the key of C, whereas the F sharp would fit in the key of A major. So we're dancing, like I said, between that A major and A minor the whole time. There's no G major chord, right? There's no G major. We play that G major chord in an A minor scale, but in an A major, that should be G sharp. So we're dancing between A major and A minor. So after you get through the F sharp to the F, hit it twice, then again to our tritone, back to A. So slowly I'll run through that real quick. lesson powered by Wawa Dark Roast. I can't live without Wawa. If you're from Philadelphia, you know what I'm talking about. So guys, please like and subscribe. We're gonna do all this all the time. Me, my dog Slug, just hanging out, showing off my guitar collection, teaching some guitar lessons. We got a little Led Zeppelin today. Next time I got something exciting. We're gonna see one of my oldest Gibson guitar in the next episode. I love it. I love it, guys. So please like and subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions. See you next time.